Hello, and thank you for tuning in to this episode of Moore's October Rants. Today's topic hits a little too close to home, and I think a lot of you are going to relate. I'm calling this episode People Who Say They Are Different from Others. Let's dive in because this one's been gnawing at me for a while. There's nothing more frustrating than when someone goes out of their way to tell you, "I'm not like everyone else," and then they proceed to act exactly like everyone else. You know the kind of person I'm talking about. Someone who tells you, "Oh, I know you've had bad experiences with people ghosting you, but I'm not that kind of person. If I ever feel like we need to stop talking, I'll let you know. I believe in communication. I'm not going to disappear on you like others have." And then, surprise, they do exactly what they said they wouldn't. It drives me nuts because it's like, if you are going to behave like everyone else, why even bother making these promises? The worst part, it doesn't just feel frustrating, it messes with your head. The more people do this to you, the more you start to think, well, maybe all people are the same. Maybe no one is going to be different. After enough disappointments, you start to believe that anyone who walks into your life is just going to let you down eventually. And honestly, it can make you bitter. I hate that. I don't want to be the kind of person who sees the worst in everyone, but when people keep proving you wrong, it's hard not to get jaded. This isn't something I'm just talking about in theory either. I'm saying this because I've just had this happen to me recently. There was this person I met online, and we hit it off. Like, really hit it off. We were having some great conversations, and they seemed genuinely interested in keeping in contact. They told me that if anything ever came up, or if they didn't want to talk anymore, they'd tell me up front. They swore to me they wouldn't just vanish. They made me believe, just for a moment, that this time it might actually be different. And you know where this is going, right? A few days later, I checked the app we were talking on, and bam, I'm blocked. No explanation, no warning. Just gone. It's not even just about getting ghosted at this point. It's the principle. Why go out of your way to tell me you're going to be different, only to do the same old song and dance? It's disappointing as hell. And to be honest, this isn't the first time it's happened recently. This is becoming a pattern. People come into my life, tell me they're not like the others, and then they pull the exact same moves. It's hard not to take it personally. When it keeps happening, you start to ask yourself, am I doing something wrong? Why does this keep happening to me? I know that deep down it's not about me. It's about people saying one thing and doing another. But when it happens over and over again, it starts to feel like maybe the problem is me. Maybe I'm the common denominator in all of this. But here's the thing. It's more than just about me and my feelings. It's about trust. Every time someone makes promises and breaks them, it chips away at your ability to trust people. I don't want to live my life thinking that everyone is just going to let me down. But at the same time, I feel like I can't keep giving people the benefit of the doubt when they've shown me time and time again that they'll just disappoint me. It's easy to start thinking that everyone is the same, that no one will ever keep their word. And I know that's a dangerous mindset. You don't want to get stuck there, because then you'll start treating people who haven't even done anything wrong like they're already guilty. That's not fair to them, and it's not fair to you either. You end up closing yourself off to potential relationships or friendships because you assume they're going to end the same way. And I don't want to live like that. I don't want to punish new people for what others have done to me. But at the same time, how do you avoid it? When you've been let down enough, how do you stop yourself from assuming it'll happen again? It's a tough balancing act, trying to keep your heart open while protecting it from further disappointment. But here's the reality. Not everyone is going to let you down. Some people will keep their word. Some people will show up for you. And I need to remind myself of that, because right now it's hard to see those people through the fog of all the ones who didn't. And you know what else sucks about this whole situation? It's the time that gets wasted. No one lives forever, right? Time is the one thing we can't get back, and it really grinds my gears when I think about all the time I've spent on people who didn't deserve it. You invest your energy, your emotions, your time into building something with someone, only for them to ghost you, or block you, or just flat out disappear. And you can't help but think, what could I have been doing instead? Could I have been putting that time into someone who actually values it? But here's the kicker. You don't know. You don't know who's going to be worth your time and who's going to waste it. That's the gamble. And I guess that's life, right? You're not always going to hit the jackpot. Sometimes you put your chips on the wrong number. And it sucks when you lose, but the only way to win is to keep playing. You have to keep taking those risks because otherwise, you're never going to find the people who are worth it. I guess what I'm saying is that I'm trying not to let these experiences turn me into someone I don't want to be. I'm trying to stay hopeful, even though right now it's hard. I know I can't let every bad experience dictate how I treat future relationships, but man, it's tough, because when people keep letting you down, it's hard to believe that someone won't. It's kind of like baseball. You know, not every time you step up to the plate is going to be a home run. You're going to strike out sometimes. Maybe a lot of times. Maybe you're on a losing streak and you think, what's the point of even trying? But then out of nowhere, you hit a home run. And that's what keeps you going, the possibility that next time it could be different. That's what I'm holding on to, even though it's tough right now. One more thing before I wrap this up, and this might be a bit off topic, but I think it's connected in some way. As I get older, it's becoming harder and harder to make friends. When you're younger, in your teens or 20s, friendships just happen naturally. You meet people through school or work or mutual friends, and those connections just form. But now that I'm in my 30s, it feels like everyone's already set in their social circles. If you didn't make those lifelong friendships earlier on, it can feel like you missed the boat. It's tough, because you're supposed to have your core group of friends by now, and if you don't, where does that leave you? I've talked to other people my age, and they feel the same way. It's not as easy to make friends in your 30s as it was in your 20s. Everyone's busy with their own lives, their families, their careers, and it can feel really isolating. It's a weird spot to be in, trying to make deep connections when it seems like most people already have their social support system set. But like anything, I know it's a work in progress. I'm hopeful that I'll meet the right people when the time is right. I just have to be patient, and that's the hardest part, isn't it? At the end of the day, I think the most frustrating thing about all of this is that I keep wanting to believe people will be different. I keep wanting to trust that the next person won't be like the last. But I guess I blame myself in a way. I wanted to believe that this person was different, even when I had that gut feeling they weren't. Deep down, I knew this probably wasn't going to work out, but I gave them the benefit of the doubt anyway. And of course, they proved me right. What really stings is the fact that this person could look me in the eyes over a video call and tell me they're not like everyone else, and then turn around and do exactly what everyone else has done. That's what really hurts. That someone could look you straight in the face and lie. But I'll leave you with this. Don't always trust everyone you meet. Be careful. Take your time and trust your gut. Thanks for listening to this episode of Moore's October Rants. Signing out. Take care and have a good one, guys. Goodbye.